Hello everyone. I'm not sure what is happening because the live is getting disrupted each time. I really frustrated about that. A beautiful conversation and each time it just shuts off. I'm not sure what is happening here. Okay.
Are there some gremlins in your phone?
What is happening? It's like it's a third time. It just shuts off. It's never happened with us prior. I don't know what is happening.
Well,
I'm so sorry, but
no, it's not your problem.
sorry
It just
for all
shows you that things are not working.
I'm so sorry for the followers as well. I feel very frustrated. I'm so sorry, but what we can do, it's not in our hand. I mean, I do have a Wi-Fi connection. Everything looks fine, but for some reason, it's my third time trying. Okay.
Yeah.
Try again now.
Well, okay. So today, to repeat, I'm going to be discussing the most important information if we want to have a civilization or healthy generations. And I can't state this, how important this whole topic is. Since 1986, I introduced an essential bacteria for supplementation called Bifidobacteria infantis. And the reason it's called infantis because it's the most important bacteria that was present in healthy infants. Fast forward, in the last 50 years, I would say North America, less than 5% of the infants get this bacteria, even if they're vaginally delivered, even if their mother has a healthy pregnancy, and even if they're breastfed. And that to me is a sign of extinction of our species because these bacteria are so important for healthy development of an infant because the most important thing that they do for the infant is communicate with the immune cells and help them to develop properly so they don't overreact or they don't underreact. And it's like a training manual. It's like trying to use a computer without a training manual or using a new program or a new video game, but you don't have the program. So the Bifidobacteria infantis provides the program, which is essential for our survival because it fine tunes the immune system right at the beginning when it's able to be fine tuned and very receptive to the fine tuning. So the fact that we're not passing on this bacteria to our infants is one of the major reasons why infants develop attention deficit, aggressive behavior, autism. It's all related to the fact that that initial introduction of these bacteria to communicate with the immune system and get everything functioning in the immune system the way it should be to tolerate food and to be very vigilant if there's enemies coming in across the intestinal wall and to help us with our learning because the gut-brain relationship is also set up in that initial phase. It's like you have this brand new infant and it's got all this very incredible technology, but now without the proper introduction of that technology to this world, you have a host of problems which our society labels as disease. So, this is what I'm telling you about. And because I am the one who introduced the whole probiotic field, the issue is that there is no guidelines, there's no organization making sure what people put on their label is actually in the product. And it's a time when the situation is quite serious and we can't be fooling around with somebody who had the sexiest message or someone that we think we trust, because trust me, doctors don't know about this. I have to talk to pediatricians. They don't understand. They look at research. They look at other bacteria that are taking care of symptoms. We have to get away in our society from just taking care of symptoms and get back to restoring that which the Creator put in us to help us protect our body and our health.
Absolutely. So if we just kind of go overall as the first topic that you mentioned is very important, is that it's not that children are born defects. It's because they're just lacking an essential microbiome, an essential bacteria.
That's right.
No longer been transferred from the mom to the baby.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the root cause of all the problems. So you mentioned so nicely, we see the skin issues, we see we attention, children have a heart problem, having heart problem to concentrate, allergies, anything, all the behavior problems, everything that we see today, it begins from as soon the baby comes to the world. And because the baby comes to the world and the mom already lacking this essential bifidobacteria, she can no longer transfer it to the baby. And then when we start to see the problems, we're trying to cover the symptoms, but in reality this is irrelevant. You have to treat the root cause, which is restoring their microbiome, giving them
That's right.
proper bacteria for survival. Now, it's very important to understand it's like, and and we will never stop talking about this, because this is so important just for people to understand. Your child born to this world, and he is not defective. It's not that he, oh my gosh, that's what happened. It's not what happened. Just the body told you that there is something is missing. There's a missing link to all these symptoms that you
That's
see.
right.
And the missing link is a special bacteria that helps, that's essential, that unfortunately the mom was no longer was able to pass this to the baby due to many other things that we covered last time already. We spoke about, and we each time when we meet, we speak about that, why the mothers are lacking this essential bacteria. But so this is very important. This is a very, very, very important. So the child's development begins, and if the child has no essential bacteria, then the disease will settle in. And the simple diseases that we see right now, almost all of them, ear infection, behavior problems. I'm going to go over those stuff because for some people, it's very close to their heart. They need to understand, if your child suffers ongoing ear infections, if your child having an asthma, okay, if your child having a behavior issues, if your child has ADHD, any of those stuff, the first comes because there is an imbalance in the gut microbiome. So please just really understand this. And once you understand, it will be so easy. Everything will just flow.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to explain to people, we are a hybrid of bacteria and human cells. Each year, the whole body rebuilds itself, and the bacteria play an essential role in that rebuild. And what we've done with the pollution of our environment and the abuse of antibiotics and them giving too many vaccines at one time to an infant that doesn't have a proper development of its immune system it's like adding a stressor. It's like if you think of a scale, old-fashioned scale, you keep putting weight on this part, and all of a sudden the scale tips. And it was always the last thing I put on. No, it's all these other things you've been putting on that side, and all of a sudden the scale tips. And Western medicine only looks at the last thing. They don't look at the whole history, what's wrong, and that's why we're not solving the problem. The problem needs to be solved because it's both, I've studied this now for 50, 60 years. It's both the health of the mother and the father. The father contributes to the microbiome. And if the father's family or the mother's family had historical problems with digestion, and people look at digestion as a nuisance, it's probably the most important thing you can learn about because it affects everything. It affects your overall health, energy, your heart health, your organ health, your skin health, your mental health. Everything is reliant upon those 100 trillion bacteria that lie in your GI tract, that are found in your blood, that are found in every organ. And this upset of this equilibrium is causing the 80% of chronic diseases in our country. And what do? We give a pill to subdue the symptom. It's like the body's crying out to us, and we're telling them, here, I'll give you a little, nursing thing in your mouth. but I'm not going to take care of the problem of why you're crying.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I love when you putting everything into right perspective, and hopefully people will listen. And as I said in the beginning, before our live being shut off, the idea is just listen, but then implement. This is a
yeah.
very important point, because we can speak all day long. We can have live sessions all day long. We can provide the education, but the hardest, really truly the hardest is then implementing everything that we are learning. And I would like also to, so how you would implement, what are the beginning, how you would start rebuilding the child's microbiome. We speak
Well,
all the
yeah.
time, but today it's important. We have new listeners, and there is always another soul who needs to hear this. So let's start from the beginning. As we
Well, I tell mothers when they get pregnant, they have to start improving their own microbiome because in North America, when I said this chronic illness, I would say every new mother needs to be helping it her own microbiome, and that's by taking the Trenif Trio every day for herself. And then in the third trimester, she needs to be taking the Life Start because she needs to be introducing this bacteria into her system so the child can benefit from it. So the bacteria cannot be present there unless you start, giving it a home, and your taking of the Trinif Trio predisposes a better environment for the infantis to take hold. Remember, bacteria don't stay anywhere that's not their optimal place to multiply. They're not stupid. They're not going to waste their cellular energy to impress us. They're
right.
not going to go there because we're a good person or a bad person. They're going to stay with us because the environment we've created is optimal for them to multiply their kind, period. And this is what people need to understand. They're not stupid. They can't meet your marketing directives. They can't be placed in a so-called shelf-stable environment because there is no such environment. When people are fooled with this business of shelf stability, they're getting weakened or even dead organisms that will not survive stomach acid or bile and will not have a chance of implanting. And it's too important of a time in our history as Homo sapiens to be ignoring this warning because I'm not the one who said it. The vanishment of bifidobacteria from our infants, from our adolescents, from our adults, from our seniors is a cause of extinction to the human species. And I can't be more specific than that, that we all have to grow up. We all have to take responsibility because this system, our system is so good, so smart, that all we have to do is understand it. And we cannot just go for anything that sounds good because unfortunately, without regulations and strict enforcement, you can buy something that can actually hurt your child's health rather than help it. So it's very important that you trust the manufacturer. What is their background? Are they specializing in this? Because probiotics is not a line extension in somebody who's selling vitamins. That's like telling me you're manufacturing cars, but tomorrow you're going to add the space shuttle to your line, and nobody's going to question whether or not you have the technology for the space shuttle. That's what they're telling you. You cannot just add a probiotic to your line. These are living bacteria. You have to understand how they think, how they work, and what incentivizes them to stay in your body and make you become a good host so they want to stay in your body. They're not going to stay because you have somebody telling you a marketing spiel and telling you how good this is. No, they're going to stay there because they like the environment. So this is where we need to grow up and think, because when we have sick children, we're going to have a sick society. We already cannot afford any health plan we have now. I mean, people have to get serious. People are running to the pediatrician. The stats we have in the first year, an average child would get 3 rounds of antibiotics. This is total destruction of their microbiome. I'm not saying you shouldn't take antibiotics, but I'm saying if you have to give your child antibiotics, you have to know what is the right supplement to give them with the antibiotic at the proper time to make sure whatever is depleted is being restored abundantly so that the child does not suffer.
Right. Well, and in the beginning, if right away we see the symptoms like ear infection or eczema, now we are very smart. Now we know that we need to start working on our gut microbiome when we are preparing to have a child. And the mom and the dad both need to take
Yes.
a trio. And this is essential three bacteria, Superdapolis, Bifido, and Bulgaricum. There's three combination of these three work synergetically. And the beauty of it that there are live bacteria. We are working with a live bacteria. And you might say, what's different about the Natasha's probiotics than the one that I buy in the store? Well, as Natasha mentioned, that it's very important that if you, it's just so simple. If you combine different live bacteria together, they will fight with each other. So that's number one. Number two, then if you're not providing the right temperature, they're gonna die off. So it's all this such a corrupt business, and that's the beauty of. That's why I bring Natasha, is to really bring this knowledge and provide you with this important educational note so you really understand why we are really putting so much attention into speaking about these essential bacteria and why they're so important. And yes, it's, I've seen many times when people do take different probiotics and from different companies, they feel like it's working, but on the other hand, they just feel it's working, and but they're still suffering. You still see children having an eczema or still having an issue. So this is how I would say it, but it's like when you have the right product, you're going to see results, not just feel it. That's the idea. You will see a real results. You'll see the skin will get cleaner. You'll see that behavior problems will kind of settle down. You'll see that digestive issues will disappear. You'll see it. It's not feel. See, many times people tell me, yeah, but I think I feel kinda. It's not I feel. If it goes by feeling, then this product that you're taking is not doing anything. And I honestly can see by working with so many clients in this field that when I give them a proper strain, I hear right away an amazing results. What are the results? Number one, sleeping better, moving the bowels better, calmness. It's just, you see it right away on the, like, you don't really have to.
It's a whole physical and behavioral change.
Exactly. And
Whether it's infant, adolescent, adult, because your body is getting the essential nutrients. And to what you're saying is that it's like what happened in all dietary supplements, and this is by design. There's a huge confusion. And since there's no agency that's looking in to see what's properly labeled on the label, if these bacteria are even alive,
right.
that and the reason for this was done because I have worked with certain people in the FDA who are gone now for well over 30 years, is that there's an incentive not to make any standards in dietary supplements, because if people were to get better taking the right dietary supplements, it would hurt the big pharma business and the sale of drugs. That's about as simple as I can make it. And there's huge confusion. It's like telling me that every gymnast can go to the Olympics. No, they have to have special talent. They have to have special training. It's no different than for bacteria. You have to train them by giving them the right nourishment. You have to incentivize them to want to live in your GI tract. They're not going to waste their energy to impress us. They could care less. This is what I got to tell people. They're not stupid like single cell things like we think they are. They are very intelligent things. I've got an urgent situation. I got to call you right back. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, so you can leave and then we'll be. Okay, so to anyone who are listening to us, please, you can ask questions. This is a wonderful time. You can ask me some questions. We have a couple minutes till Natasha will join back. do you, is there any specific problem you're trying to take care? I'm here and I can answer you any questions that you might have. You can ask about your children, you can ask about your health, but today's topic is about our children, our precious gifts. So if you have any question, this is your time. I wait a couple minutes, couple seconds. I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay. And you know, we started this live 3 times and each time it was interrupted. So I'm not sure what happened, but we had so many more people. What can help with blood in the stool in adults? Okay, so blood in the stool. Well, this is a very, very interesting question. And so let me answer you straight up. First, we have to find out why you have a blood in the stool. And also it depends on the color of the blood. Is it from where it comes? If you truly can see the color of the blood, that means it comes closer to the end, closer to the anus. And what can cause is a couple things. I'll throw you a few ideas so that way you might start thinking what is happening inside of you. Number one, you are clogged, meaning you're not moving your bowels daily. So that means you have a problem and you have a constipation. So that's number one. You might say that's not possible because I'm moving the bowels. No, if you do see a blood, that means it's a constipation. There is toxic is building inside the area. That's number one. Another, why? That could be because you're not eating a proper diet. If you're not eating proper diet, then the stool might be a very harsh, very hard. That can be also can set to your, if you're not drinking enough, about your dehydration. If you're dehydrated, that can also cause a problem. Another thing, sweets. Sweets can cause actually create imbalance in the area, and it's all about the muscles, it's all about the tissues. And if we provide too much sugar, that weakens the area and then causes to the area become very weak, and then the blood and like veins can bleed very quickly. That's one of the symptoms as well. Another thing why could be blood in the stool, there could be also because of internal imbalance, microbiome imbalance. Well, that's obvious. This is why we speak about this. Microbiome imbalance can cause this issue. Why? Because you're not digesting and absorbing the food the way you should digest and absorb. Another thing, if you're sitting too long, you're sitting in the toilet and like you're waiting and you're playing with your phone, that can cause also issues and cause more problem. So you really have to see what are the ones that really causing to have a blood in the stool. Okay, so I would suggest restoring the microbiome. Obviously, I will need to know the age and many other things, but as an overall, please eat a healthy diet. What does it mean healthy diet? Eat clean food. Forget about potato chips and all the other. Eat soups. Eat food that is rich in fiber. So I would suggest lentils, beans are amazing because they create the bulk. So that's good. And hot cereals are good. Just make sure they're organic and use butter and all this delicious stuff. Next thing that I would suggest, hydrate. Drink herbal teas. Herbal teas like marshmallow root is helping. Aloe vera is wonderful, but it's not a tea. Another thing, our slippery elm is very good. Other herbal teas like nettle tea is wonderful. Many herbal teas will provide nourishment to the area. So that will be amazing. So that I would suggest. Another thing that I would suggest is taking internally aloe vera is soothing the area. Now, slippery elm and marshmallow root is very important that you should not take them too much. If you do take them, you have to hydrate more because they are very drying food. They're very drying, so they can cause actually smelly gas. So you have to be careful with that. So, but they will provide a soothing they will soothe the intestinal tract. So that way, if there is a bleeding, they will provide like a glue, will cover the area. You know, in old medicinal studies, if you look into the old herbal books, they would give a marshmallow root with milk, warm milk, cooked, and then you would drink this, and they will go in, and then it will soothe the passages, so you no longer will have a bleeding. Okay, so that's another thing. Then I obviously would suggest a hydration, also clean water. Make sure you're not drinking from plastic bottles. Plastic bottles are garbage, so stay away from those. Steam distilled water is the best. Next thing that I would suggest, cayenne. Oh my gosh, cayenne helps to stop bleeding anywhere in the body. Okay, so a little bit cayenne on your tongue will stop the bleeding. The next thing I would suggest, restoring your microbiome. Use the Trenef Trio that you have on my website, or at least start with Super Dafolis, throwing good bacteria. Okay, so that's very, very important. And really listen to your body. Eat only when you're hungry. Do not eat just because I need to eat. Eat if you're hungry. And I'm sure that your body is under the stress. And if you have a blood in your stool, your body will say, stop, do not eat. Now it's time to calm down. Okay, so it's very important. Hopefully I was able to cover just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, I've heard integrative doctors say about probiotics that they hardly reach out intestines. Okay, amazing question. Thank you so much, my love. Okay, well, exactly. That's why I bring to you the mother of probiotics. She is the one of the inventors of probiotics. So when you have those integrative doctors spewing this nonsense, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Why? It's because when you use a proper strain, a proper probiotic, properly designed and made in the correct way, the healing will come. But yes, if you go and buy any garbage probiotics that out there, then they hardly will reach any intestines. And that's why it's a big issue. You're so blessed to be on my group, because truly my job is to give you the tools, to empower you, and I bring you, as I usually say, the whipped cream. I've studied this for over 30 years, you know, and the beauty of it, that I really want you to learn this. That's why I bring you the best people. I bring you the Master Kamen, who is the best in the clapping and restoring the whole entire body, the whole entire system. And then I bring you the mother of probiotics. She's the inventor. So she understands for 50 years how to really restore your microbiome. So we better should listen. And that's why probiotics are so important. The correct ones are important. Any more questions? Please send them. I love when you ask questions. Send the questions, please. I get excited when I hear questions, and I really feel the interactions, and like I really get connected with all of you. This is such a blessing. Okay, so till you come up with a few more questions, I just wanted to go back to conversation that we had earlier, just to explain you that our children are not born sick. We are not damaged. We are not our body is a very unique, is one of the best God's creations. So when you see the child that is suffering, the first lamp, the first light should light in your hand. The first thing that you should think, oh my gosh, if the child is not healthy, that means he has microbiome issue. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to remember. I truly want you to always understand, disease settles in the area where there is no good bacteria. If you had good bacteria, then disease will not come in, because you will have a good bacteria will fighting the bad bacteria off. But unfortunately, in our society, due to food that we eat, the drink that we drink, and the stress that we are having, that causing so much problem and microbiome disturbance on our system, that the good bacteria is no longer wants to live. he just wants to say, oh, no, I don't want to live in this house anymore. So he just wants to leave and go. And that's why we are in such bad shapes. But in reality, once I give you the proper tools, I'm giving you the right bacteria, and you take these life strains, you will see how all the problems will disappear. I cannot say all the problems, like that could be too good to be true. But the idea is that the basic problems will disappear. And I will go over those problems again. Skin issues, skin rashes. Why there is a skin rash? Well, there is a skin rash is because there is not enough good bacteria in the gut. There is a toxins building up in the system. And then what happens? Very simple. The body says, oh, I can't handle this anymore, and throws to the skin. Okay, behavior issue. Why there's a behavior issue? Well, understand, if the child gathers too much toxicity inside his system, sometimes most children have a backed up issues. They are not moving the bowels the way they should, or they don't want to go when they want, or they are keeping in, or so basically, do you understand, holding the garbage inside can cause problem, and then the gas, the toxicity will come to the head, and then you'll see the child angry, or you'll see the child misbehaving. The poor child is just having so much toxin build up in his system. Okay, so again, it goes into our digestive issues, to building up toxicity. So once we remove it and restore the microbiome, and the child will move his bowels every single day. And hey, don't forget about speaking about this topic. It's important with your child. Speak. Did you move your bowels today? How? Oh, you didn't go to the bathroom today? Oh, you know how important is that? You know, we don't even have this conversation with our children because we feel like it's irrelevant. No, it's so relevant, because just last week I get another frustrated call from the mom whose child was so backed up and had the bleeding in the stool, like the question prior. He was so much backed up in the system that the doctors needed to flush his colon a few times. Do you understand that? Other things, allergies. What is allergies? Oh my gosh, we're allergic. Oh, my poor child is allergic. He is not allergic. He have this allergy just as a symptom to tell you, hey, listen, too much junk in the system. I cannot do my job, because immune system relies on the good bacteria, and if you don't have a good bacteria, then you will see the side effects. Simple, so simple, outline, so easy. Mention any disease you want right now. I will answer you quickly what you can do, because all disease begins in the gut, and yes, they all begin there. Any more questions? Anyone have any questions? And let me see, maybe I should bring Natasha back. Let's say she will come up again. If not, then we'll just close our live for today. If you have any more questions, please. If not, we had a wonderful live today, and join my classes. Oh, come on, dear people, join my classes, come do clapping with me. We do clapping exercise with Master Kamen. We do worldwide clapping. It's incredible. Once you understand it, you can treat yourself not only by hopping another supplement, by really also working with your body, and also by restoring your microbiome. You might find that you don't need anything else. You don't need all these thousands of supplements. You know, sometimes I go to people's house and I open their kitchen cabinet, and they're like 20, 30 different supplements. 20, 30 different supplements. I mean, what is it? It never was supposed to be like this. It shouldn't be like this. All what you need is a proper supplement, restoring your microbiome, clap to bring in circulation, and sometimes you need some herbs just to treat a certain problem at that moment. Okay, so if either it's a dental issue or it's a digestive problem, like digesting the food correctly, and the herbs play an important role in that, but not the way we look at the supplements. Supplements is not healthy. Supplements, it's another toxic material that goes inside our system. That's not good. That's not, anyway, I think I covered for today. Any more questions? If not, then thank you so much. Thank you for joining our live. Looks like Natasha cannot join us, and that's okay. I had the privilege to be with you today. Thank you, everyone. And please share, not next Monday, but after, we're going to have another meeting with Natasha. So call everyone, come join, and thank you so much, and looking forward. All the best. This will be recorded so you can share with your loved ones. All the best. Bye from now from Chava Wellness.